Good morning and happy Valentine's Day, coming to you from the Kaiser Report here this morning. We'll talk to you about a few things, but first I'd like to wish you all a very, very happy Valentine's Day, and I hope and pray that you're all well, and we'll be making plans to enjoy this day with your loved ones, because that's what Valentine's Day is all about. So I'm sure a lot of roses and a lot of candy will be purchased today and given away, and I'd like you all to enjoy it. Which brings us to today's news. The House has passed the impeachment process for Alejandro Mayorkas for dereliction of duty, and I think there's 2 or 3 other items that they have popped in there. I'm not so sure that that was a very smart move at this particular point. In my view, I think that we should have maybe waited a little on that, or pushed for impeachment for President Biden due to the fact that Alejandro answers to him, and if the problem should be laid at the feet of anyone, it should be this entire administration, not just one person. I'm no fan of Mr. Mayorkas. The smirking through the questioning by the committees left me with the idea that this guy is just very, very arrogant, is the only word that comes to mind for Mr. Mayorkas. That, coupled with the fact that the New York State vote has caused the GOP to lose a seat in the House, which narrows their margin down considerably when it comes to getting anything through with a majority vote. I really don't think that this impeachment process is going to go very far in the Senate due to the fact that we have Republicans sitting in the Senate that continually go ahead and vote with this Democratic point of view, and they would be considered the rhinos, Republican in name only, because they fit into the agenda and the narrative that this administration wants to push. Let's talk a little bit about Joe Biden and his little rant during the Super Bowl or around the Super Bowl, where he came out and blamed manufacturers of snacks for the inflation. How ridiculous can anyone be to think that having less potato chips in a bag and more air is a harmful thing? It is a byproduct of the fact that the manufacturers of these products are paying more for the raw materials, such as potatoes and vegetables and things, oils that are needed to manufacture these snacks. But the thing that really got me about Joe's rant is his ice cream has less in it now. Somebody needs to explain to Joe that a pint is a pint, a quart is a quart. Whether the packaging got smaller or not, it's still a pint and it's still a quart or a gallon of ice cream that you can purchase. So you may be paying more for it because there is an increase in raw goods all over this country. And if you have not been to a supermarket recently, you need to get out and look. Yes, the packaging is smaller. If you look at a pack of crackers that used to be larger, it's less in it. That's correct. However, you cannot blame the economy on snack manufacturers and get away with it. That's just another sign that that we have a out of touch government that is not willing to do anything but make excuses for Bidenomics. Well, there's not a whole lot more going on in and around the world stage today that I know of. Let's just take a brief look at what people are saying over the mainstream media. Of course, they're all up in arms about the House Republicans impeaching Mayorkas. We knew that was going to come. The Democrats flipped the Santos seat in New York. I talked about that. And Israel carried out an extensive strike in Lebanon. Why, I'm not totally privy to that story, and I don't know how to react to it yet. I'm sure there'll be more and more coming out about it today. The Ukraine claims to have sunk a Russian landing ship in a drone attack. We'll see. Well, performance reviews on this government in polling situations is not at all good. People are kind of waking up to the fact that that we may have a problem with this government, the way it sits right now. That and the ongoing try at destroying Tucker Carlson over the fact that he went and got this interview, and he's now in Dubai, I guess, at a meeting. I watched a little of that yesterday where he talked about the state of our large cities being what they are today, showing film of it and how it compares to cities, other cities around the world, such as Moscow, number one, where he just was, in Singapore, and several other large European cities that are doing a lot better than our cities in New York and San Francisco, Chicago, L.A. Their streets are cleaner, their architecture is kept up, and we're destroying ours. And basically, it's the truth, and the backlash on him will be tremendous. Trust me. They want him canceled, as they do with anyone that comes out and tells the truth. Just look at Russell Brand, Joe Rogan, people like that want to come out and give you the information that you need to make sound decisions and understand what really is happening behind the curtain where they have their closed-door meetings. And I think it was rather sleazy for the Senate to work all night long on Super Bowl Sunday to get past their bill to give $93 billion away, most of it going to the Ukraine, and a large chunk will go to Gaza for, I don't know if you want to call it reparations or rebuilding, but I guarantee you today, I'll make you a bet that a large quantity of that money will be sucked up by Hamas and used against us, and is used against Israel and whatever other terror group that they're backing right now. The Red Sea is a mess. Merchant ships are not being able to get through because of fear of being fired upon by rockets, which is not a good thing. And we need to get past all that. But it is officially the first day of Lent here, and coupled with the fact that it's Valentine's Day, it's also Ash Wednesday, which is celebrated by most Christian organizations, a day to get ashes, which are the burn results of the palms from last Palm Sunday. And and it's applied at masses and in church gatherings in and around the nation today and around the world. So we have to remember that we're entering into the season of Easter season, and this leads up to it. There's a lot of things that people will try to abstain from or fast from during this Lenten season, such as food and maybe cigarettes or alcohol, whatever it is that you feel that you can let go between now and Easter. One of the things I'd like to see everyone let go of and fast from is the hatred and the calling out of your neighbors and fighting amongst yourselves over politicized nonsense that is shoved at us on a daily basis. So let the love out of your heart during this Lenten season and fast from making comments about people that are ugly. Make comments out of love and support for other people's opinions. And with that, there's not much else that you can fast from other than material things and foodstuffs. But it's a season of prayer, and in your prayers you should be asking for guidance for our leaders and the world's leaders, that we can all wake up and understand that we as God's children need to get together and help each other rather than supporting wars and idealistic reasoning that makes no sense, as far as hating someone for their religion, hating someone for the way they vote, hating someone for just walking down the street sometimes. We have some crime going on in these cities right now. Our cities are not what they used to be. They're not crumbling, but the amount of homeless tents that are in these major cities right now is not a good look for the greatest country in the world. And Tucker is somewhat right and I've traveled through these cities. You look at Budapest and places of that nature where the architecture, Italy, we have great cities in this country as well. We need to take care of them. We need to take care of the homeless population and not worry about giving everything to an illegal alien that illegally crosses the border and then gets on our systems, while we have citizens that are sleeping in tents on the street. And yes, a lot of this is driven by the fact that we have far too many drug suppliers in this country, illegal drug suppliers in this country, that have really messed with people's lives. That, coupled with the inflation and the fact that people, especially in California, they can work there, but they can't afford to live there. And that's a little bit of a concern on my part, and it should be on yours as well. So God bless those people that are homeless and having to live in a tent. When you walk by, maybe you could give them a cup of coffee. If they come to you and ask you for money because they haven't eaten, buy them a meal. You don't necessarily have to hand them cash, because we don't know today whether or not your donation to an individual will go to drugs or really go to putting food in their stomachs. It's been around forever. We need to do something for the citizens and the veterans in this country that are homeless and are suffering, rather than just fall all over ourselves to hand everybody that crashes through the border what their needs are. We have to help each other. We have to wake up, and we have to understand that there is a lot of good in this world, and that we choose to look at just the bad, that causes you to be depressed. And we don't want any more depression in this country. Drugs are not the answer, but unfortunately, it has become commonplace to some people that are targeted. I watched a news report this morning about the Native American nations and their reservations are being inundated with cartel members and drugs that are being brought in. This is not a good situation for the population on these reservations that are struggling as it is to have fentanyl pouring into their society. They're losing people to sex trafficking. They're missing women. There are a lot of things going on these reservations and they don't have a police force large enough to take control of this. It's a shame that this is happening to the Native Americans in this country once more. Our prayers go out to all of the Native American nations in the United States and Canada that are suffering through the migrant population and the use of their reservations to be drug distribution centers is what the cartels are trying to set up. We need to help them help themselves. We have to lend some law enforcement to the nation's reservations that are not able to have enough men to control law and order there. Well, that said, anyway, happy Valentine's Day. I have my little bit of red on today to celebrate the day. I'll be out and about a little today to see some family and friends, and hope to get back to you all with some tours real soon. So please don't forget to like my channel, subscribe to my channel, so we can bring you more and more content as we go. Other than news, we're going to get into a season here where we're going to see some different things. And please also share with your friends to subscribe to this channel. Your subscriptions help me bring you more and more. So please support this channel. And with that, we're going to say it's time for me to get out and enjoy your day, Valentine's Day 2024. Bye now.